Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harris and Young. And I got to tell you, it is one day out there. Oy vey. I'm actually rooting for a thunderstorm just to get some cooling. But that's summertime around here, and we'll take it. It's better than snow. And have a great show tonight. Another amazing guest. And before we get to him, got to read these incredible underwriters, and then we will start the show officially. So we got T. Martini and Son floor covering in Abington. No job is too big or too small. Got my old buddy Dave Lynch's Auto, Cycle, and Towing in Brockton. We got a new one, Bridgewater Auto Body in Bridgewater. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Comfort Upholstery in East Bridgewater. We got Sweezy Fence Erectors, LLC in Whitman. We got Big Lee's Automotive in Abington. We got a new one, Darcy Beals, licensed social worker in East Bridgewater. We got Brighton Tire Service in Brockton. We got MDI Auto Brokers and Repair in Whitman, home of the fully certified used car. We got Shelter Shop Spirits right here in Northeastern. We got the Easton Fitness in the Village Shops, also here in Northeastern. We got C&J Auto Body, Auto Glass, and Towing in Stoughton. I want to thank you guys very much, and now we will start the show officially. Here we go. Okay, again, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Topic Time with Harris and Young. So a couple of weeks ago, you may remember I had a really incredible, talented guy in here named Devin Keith. Well, this is his friend. This is Derek. Last name is what?
Barrus.
Yeah, Barrus, that's right. Oh,
yeah.
Barrus. Okay, that's what I thought. I got a little confused before. Derek Barrus. He has a film company called Code Green.
It's a little production company called Inpatient Productions,
okay.
And the web series is called Code Green.
The web series, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we ask these questions, to get that stuff cleared up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to talk to you tonight. We're going to find out what you're all about. We're going to possibly look at a little clip about halfway through the show of one of your productions, and that's it. So, like I do with all my guests, I like to find out what you were like, as a kid, how you got to be where you're at. You're a local guy. You live on the waterfront now in Plymouth, Mass. Plymouth down there.
No, I actually live in Brockton right now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I live with Devin.
You do?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. We're roommates. Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why.
What made me think Plymouth? I thought I saw it on your.
Well, because I had a record label, and I am in a group called Weird Die Young that was based out of Plymouth. I lived in Plymouth for about a decade. So.
I got you. So the name of your band is Weird Die Young.
Weird Die Young.
It's Weird, W-E-I-R-D, Die, D-I-E, Young, Y-O-U-N-G.
That's it, yeah.
Got it. Okay, well, tell me about the band. How did it form? And who's in it?
It's me and my friend Colin, a.k.a. Dr. Dank, a.k.a. O.D.
Okay.
And then my other friend Alex, a.k.a. Buffalo Dills, and he's the producer of the group. And we basically met in this little town called Manomet.
Oh, Manomet's like, part of Plymouth. It's
exactly.
Like a little borough of Plymouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, it's like the north end of the town, I guess?
It's kind of more south.
South,
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We met there, and we basically started rapping as kids at house parties and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then eventually got into, doing shows and then making music videos. We made like 10 music videos, which I wrote and directed. We all kind of wrote and directed, but I kind of took the helm of it. And
okay.
That's kind of what led to me taking a little bit of the helm of the directing a Code Green, which I make with my partner Sarah Martin.
That's the one in California?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting how you have such a large, continental connection, or intercontinental, between you and Sarah and Devin and his people out there too, with Van.
I know, yeah.
And I guess Van and Katie are coming east to do my show next month.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. All the way from San Diego.
Yeah.
So, and I think you're all kind of like affiliated together.
Yeah. Van has this deal with this channel called U.S. Weed Channel.
Weed,
and,
smoking weed?
Smoking weed, yeah.
Okay.
And it's it's on Roku and Apple TV.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I think Devin was telling you about it. And
he
he's trying to get Code Green on that channel as well. But the problem is that we have some contract issues because of copyright use and stuff like that. So hopefully it's going to happen. But in the meantime, Van has asked me and Devin to contribute some sketches to his show, which is on the USB channel.
That's right, Van show. I saw a little of it.
Yeah, this is a show. Yeah,
I saw his right hand woman there. She's the blonde woman. I forget her name. But,
yeah.
But that's great. So it's are they all originally from Brockton or this area?
Yeah, Van is. Yeah, and Devin is. I was actually.
I know Devin is because he was here. But I mean, what about Katie and the other person there? That's just.
I honestly don't know Katie. I'd be lying to you.
Oh, that's fine.
I think that's one of his California
connections.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. I know like Jay Andrew and a couple other people he knows out in California because when they were doing a little tour over here, we all hung out and stuff like that. But a lot of those California artists I don't necessarily know because I'm over here.
All right, well, tell me about what you were like growing up. Did you grow up in Plymouth or Brockton?
I was born in Quincy, and then I moved to Plymouth when I was like 8 years old.
Little kid, yeah.
But yeah, I was really weird, and I was
with that. I can relate.
Yeah, and I always was in like chorus and stuff like that. And then in like the late '90s, got a camcorder, and then started making like little home movies and stuff like that.
Were you a little kid in the '90s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was probably like 11 or so in like 1999.
Oh, I see. All right. And, so you were born in the early '90s then.
Or late '80s.
Late 80s.
1988 is when I was born.
So you're 32.
Yeah.
So you're okay. You're still a young guy still.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a
young.
camcorder when you started, and so I take it you wanted to be as outrageous as possible based on what I've seen so far of what you've done.
I'm kind of just like, I guess, naturally outrageous because I'm just like, throughout doing chorus, I did theater arts in school.
Yeah.
They always kind of, encouraged these antics and stuff, So I really just kind of follow the fear, as they say, like go towards what's like taboo because I just kind of naturally, like I like to get the best response out of people. So generally that's kind of going over the top. So I have a natural inclination to be a little explicit or vulgar.
Yeah.
That's why we have to have like.
I understand. No, I know. No, okay. Listen, everybody. In this, I got to tell you, in the way the world is right now. I think that's kind of an uplifting diversion to some of the, considering what's really going on. I mean, look, you can't be, nobody, we're not all Boy and Girl Scouts here. And even if we were, from what we hear about them, that might be not a good idea either. So it's just as well. And I'm not putting down anybody that's, that thinks they're pure as the driven snow. That's fine, but it's just the way it is. But that's okay. All right, so you did that, and did you, when it comes to, how about music? When did you start that? You play music, sing, or whatever?
Music is rapping is what I do. It's like turned into like comedy rap over the past 10 years. That's what Weird Die Young is.
Yep.
But initially I started out in like 2005 as what you'd call like a horrorcore rapper.
Okay.
And then when I tried to be a horrorcore rapper, which is more serious, scary, intense stuff.
Right.
It kind of fell on its face because I'm a goofy, kind of funny guy. So then like I realized like, oh, this is the real direction is being like who I am really rather than what I'd like to be.
Okay.
And then Weird Die Young became kind of a caricature of like who we are, like, kind of nerdy, fucked up, kids, you know what I mean? So we kind of just took that, made it larger than life, and then that's kind of what Weird Die Young became. And then it became very visual because like our stage show initially, before we became Weird Die Young, is we would do like too many drugs and drink too much and then throw up and like act crazy, and then we realized like, oh, there's a kind of formula here, and then we like started having people in costumes. We had a character named Grandma Man, and then another character named Frankie, who was like a 300-pound 6'2" guy who would walk around like a naked Frankenstein. He passed away a few years ago. Rest in peace, Frankie. But so we it became very visual, larger than life group, Weird Die Young, and we don't play as much or at all this year, considering
No, I
we
understand,
can't play,
obviously,
you
right.
know, but
next year's a new year. Plus, you know, things are going to get better anyway. Right? That's why I'm back. I had a 4-month hiatus.
yeah,
So yeah, so I mean,
everybody did.
exactly, and you know, and eventually we will overcome whatever it is we need to. Oh, okay. So what is? I mean, you play an instrument. I mean, you just do rap. You don't play an instrument at all.
I like on one of our albums, Anthill Mountain.
Okay.
It was a concept album about us turning into ants when we took too much acid and went out into the woods.
Okay.
And then we had to fight several different fictional characters, including Humpty Dumpty, Goldilocks, and
Wow.
then this other
It's
guy.
almost like Alice in Wonderland in
Yeah.
in a skewed version.
Yeah,
Right.
Alice in Wonderland on acid.
Exactly.
And yeah, on that record, I played like probably like half of the instruments on it, and it was just a keyboard and then like a beat program.
So did you have anybody, any other, who plays what in the band? You want to tell me about, you know, name the people? And
Alex Pabon, aka Buffalo Dills, one of my
Yeah.
best friends. He does the instrumentals mostly, and
Okay.
he does it basically with like a keyboard, and he'll sample stuff and kind of like an MPC pad, like a digital drum machine,
Right.
a keyboard, and then like a computer program to make the music.
Okay.
And then also my buddy Johnny G from this group, it's kind of now defunct Outland Camp. He does the same thing, programs like through an MPC digital drum pad and then keyboards. Not like live instruments really. Although in the past we've had people do live instruments. Like in one time, you know, I did the keyboard on a track where this guy Rob was playing bass and again a digital drum machine. So sometimes I'll play instruments, but it's rare, and it's usually just the keyboard. And I'm not classically trained by any means. You
Oh,
know, I
really?
just kinda
So you're
mess-
self-taught?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just kind of mess around on it, you know.
Okay. When you say keyboard, you mean regular piano or just one of those newfangled things that plays all kinds of different instrument sounds if you hit a switch?
It's kind of, I guess,
Both.
I guess somewhere between in the middle, because it's definitely got, you know, different sounds programmed into it, but it's not like a fancy keyboard.
I
by
understand.
Any means.
Okay.
Yeah.
88 keys or not as many?
Huh?
88 keys or less?
Less actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's cool. I mean, it's, you know, it's nice that they make these keyboards for people that are aspiring to be interesting, even if
Yeah,
they
it's plug
playing
and
piano
play
is a
is what it
full-fledged-
is.
It's work because I took piano lessons for 7 years.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, when I was a kid. I was
still
considered-
play?
No, I don't. I was considered very talented, but I couldn't stay with it. I just, you know, they said if you practiced every day, you'd be a prodigy. I didn't think I'd ever make a living doing it, so I just eventually, after 7 years of just wasting everybody's time, I just said I can't do this anymore,
Wow.
and I left it. But you know, I mean, this is my calling right here.
Oh yeah,
It
definitely.
took a while. I mean, this took me to my 50s before I realized that was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But that's my story. We're profiling you today.
Sure.
Okay. So have you gone out to LA or anything? Have you ever done anything out in California or any
No,
performance anywhere else?
we're trying to well, performances music-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've performed all over the Northeast, like New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York,
Okay.
Maine, but pretty much just the Northeast.
Okay.
You know, and we did like, you know,
That's
like
cool.
a tour like once, you know, back
Well, it's
in the
pretty
day.
good. You travel, you log some miles.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we've done a lot. We've gigged hardcore with all like the dive bars and then all the like medium like size showcases at like the Middle East and the Palladium
On
upstairs.
Cambridge?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. You've hit some pretty big names. How about the Rat?
I'm not that old, man.
No, no.
The Rathskeller?
The Rathskeller.
Yeah, I was like,
That's still around, isn't it?
no, I was
It
like,
isn't? Oh, I didn't know
I got
that.
torn down when I was like 11 years old. It's you know, that's an old school venue. But you know what I played is
Hard Rock?
You remember I have in Boston, Hard Rock Cafe.
I
Yeah.
did a show there once.
Yeah, and I played at another old school venue. Would be the Living Room in Providence. You remember the Living
Oh
Room?
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, those venues are gone. Believe it or not.
I believe it because
Yeah.
you know everybody wants changes and it costs money to keep a club running.
Yeah.
You know, and so all right. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a couple of seconds to look at a little clip of yours if we can get it, and then we're gonna come right back. So stay tuned. Here we go.
You know how it goes, man. Back in the hospital again.
Where?
Barrus.
That place skid rock, man.
My name is Blanche Marie Shaughnessy. That's my constitutional right. I know. I was told I could smoke when I got here.
At least I got it!
Tin Man's gay?
I personally don't think Eric's an ass, but you tell me why you think he's an ass.
So f***ing obnoxious.
You gotta fix this. I'm not supposed to be here. Get me the out of here.
Code Green, I beat you once.
You already know.
That was great. Oh, so tell me about that clip, but just don't be too elaborate. Just
I got you. Okay, that's a trailer for my show, me and my partner Sarah Martin's show, Code Green.
okay.
It's about it's a doc comedy about working at an inpatient psychiatric hospital.
Okay, where did you shoot it?
We shot it at Devin's house.
You did, so in
because-
Brockton.
Yeah, because it used to be a doctor's office.
Right,
So we
that's what you
just
told me.
Yeah, so with minimal set design, we were able to make it look exactly like this psych hospital that I actually used to work in. It looks almost just like it.
Okay, wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome, okay. So what did you say? Did you say you used to work in one?
Yeah.
Doing what?
I was what they called a mental health tech. It's
Really?
like kind of like an orderly, but not really. You just like
Well, wait a minute. Let's break this down a little bit. First of all, how do you qualify to have a job like that?
honestly, they'll hire anybody, and that's what inspired the show. Honestly, is because what happened is we were supposed to go on a tour. We had Die Young,
Yeah.
right? My manager got into a bad car accident. This tour fell through, so I needed a job.
Right.
I got a job working at a psych hospital because like mental health techs, what people would consider.
What hospital? Was it around here?
I mean, I don't know if I should say it because
It's up to you. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, because a lot of the stuff is, I guess, I don't know. I probably shouldn't say it because there's a lot of stuff.
All right, don't worry
derived
about
from
it. Don't say
but
it.
Put it this way: it's an infamous hospital. I'll tell you after
Sure.
off air. But so
Well,
infamous.
you didn't need any college training for this job?
No.
Okay.
And we had to care for people. It was life or death, and there was people who were like still in programs and then working at the place and then going back to their own program at the end of the night, which is good, but also crazy because you would think that the people who are in care of people who are mentally ill would be a little more stable, but like
They're
in
violent, right?
Yeah, a lot of the people. You talking about staff members?
Wow, I'm talking about patients. It sounds to me like-
Yeah, I mean there was some definite violence, but not everybody. But
Not
like,
everybody,
yeah.
but how many? You only need.
I definitely got like tossed around trying.
Wow.
I'm not a big guy, so
No, I know.
like,
That's what I mean. You look like
yeah.
you take care of yourself. But
yeah,
still,
I mean, it was crazy sometimes. No, obviously, and then
Wow.
also kind of moving sometimes too, watching people get better and watching.
Well, it was always good. It's always rewarding when some people get better, but they're not all going to get better.
No, yeah, seen a lot of sad stuff, crazy, violent stuff there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what inspired this whole series, though, because everything was the fact that the hospital I worked at, there was people who were on drugs, selling drugs to the patients, having relationships with patients. We were getting shut down by the Department of Mental Health. It was so dramatic. I started writing the concept for a show.
This is art imitating life, basically.
Yeah.
Or life imitating art.
And then
skewed art, but art nonetheless.
And then at the same time, right while that was happening, this is around 2015, 16.
Okay, 5 years ago. give or
Yeah.
take. Okay.
Sarah Martin, a longtime friend, she's a comedian.
Yeah.
She was writing her own show because she worked in the mental health field too.
Right.
She was writing her own show about working in a psych ward as well.
Well, she wasn't a bouncer too. I mean, it sounds like you were a mental.
bouncer, yeah.
In a way, that sounds like what you did. But
No, kinda, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but like, here's the thing: is like I used my words, and I was there to really help people. So like, I restrained people, but it was always the last resort. You know what I mean?
They give you a weapon, a mace, a can of mace.
No,
or anything?
no. They tell you how to restrain people, but
Wow.
then like people would be spitting, swinging objects, like you name it, man.
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine.
yeah.
Boy, I couldn't do a job like that. I actually I looked at a facility like that, I think in Middleborough for employment many years ago, and it looked like a scary place. I walked in there, and I talked to some of the people behind the desk, and I thought, I don't know. This looks. They showed me a questionnaire what I'd have to fill out. And the people there looked. I thought it was like a peaceful sanitarium, but it was anything but.
Yeah.
And I think most of these places are like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you find dark comedy within there because, like, you get
of course.
you get like that gallows humor of like,
You ever
okay,
see
it's
One
a
Flew
job.
Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Ken
that kind of thing.
Kesey, man.
Kesey.
I've read the book too.
I read the book too.
Yeah.
I saw it in 1976. You weren't born yet, I don't think.
No.
I was
But
still in high school.
it's funny.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Danny DeVito. There's so
DeVito,
many people in the
Martini.
cast. Yeah. Yeah, that I love that movie and that book. So that's why, like, growing up,
Give us a break, Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Where's my cigarettes?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And you know what? We played that movie in the hospital because
You did?
because we would have
You really wanted to inspire some stuff, didn't you?
yeah, well, people would ask for it because, like, everybody's humans, so they'd be like, hey, can we watch movies? We bring in DVDs.
Okay.
And that was that was always a hit, was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because people could relate to
That's
it.
again life imitating art.
Yeah.
Okay, for real.
Yeah.
Wow. I admire your spunk, man. I couldn't do anything like that. It wouldn't be. I'd be freaking out. I'll be honest with you. I've actually almost been committed a couple of times. Not in my adult life. Well, one time when I was 19, I was going through some stuff, and one time when I was a little kid, my parents brought me to. I've been seeing therapists since I was 4 years old. I have autism, and a lot of the people thought I was schizophrenic. They told my parents that I was. Now, I never got committed. However, years later, it benefited me in a way because I got a role as a mental patient in Shutter Island, and I worked directly with Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, I seen on the episode with Devin. That's awesome.
Right, yeah. And those are the only times I'd ever been in that, and the time I went to Middleborough to check out that institution for a job, and then the institution that we did the filming for Shutter Island was an actual former mental hospital in Medway.
Yeah,
But
you were telling me.
It's a totally condemned building now. I mean, just windows broken and everything. But the people in the town keep it sacred because of having a film shot in the town. The land itself is beautiful. There's like 16 acres out there. You can build an estate, or you can build if you rip that hospital down, you can put your own estate out there if you wanted to, if you had the money.
Harrison, you want to know what's crazy?
I want to know what's not crazy.
Somebody brought that DVD into the psych hospital and showed it at the psych hospital, inside it, while several patients were living that scenario. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
And I took that DVD home and like.
While you were there, you mean, while this was going on?
Yeah,
right? Wow.
yeah. And I took the DVD home, and I remember everybody was mad, but I was like, yo, like, you can't be there's certain movies that you can't be showing at a psych hospital. Like Shutter Island is probably one of them.
Well, right, but right, it probably was.
Yeah.
But believe it or not, the scenes from Shutter Island that were more torrid were not so much the mental hospital scenes, but the Holocaust scenes from the flashbacks.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, definitely.
I got to tell you though, DiCaprio looked at me like he thought I was the real deal.
Yeah, oh yeah.
We were on you know that big scene at the yard scene at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
So I worked two scenes. I got led across the floor in handcuffs and foot shackles in the winter scene inside the building in March. It was still way too cold to be outside. Then 3 months later, they called me back to do the yard scene. And that's where DiCaprio saw me, and he looked at me like, this guy must really be a refugee from this place. But that's all right, But look, I did what I had to do. I had a good time. I made some good money there.
Yeah.
And and it's on my resume.
Yeah.
So, and that's it.
Yeah, that's major, man. That's a big credit.
Yeah, it totally is. And Scorsese was a great. And now do you know Sarah Silverman is the comedian?
Oh yeah, yeah.
She's my cousin.
That's awesome. I remember you said that in the last
that.
interview. Yeah.
So the thing is, I tell people the story is that when I was in that scene, the girl who's playing the nurse, Nellie, and if you remember the film, there was a nurse there, kind of, it took place in 1954. So you know how the hair, the women wore their hair kind of like puffy in the 50s.
Yeah.
And she was the nurse, and she was the head nurse. They also had a fill-in for her, a double or whatever. So she told Scorsese, she worked with Sarah out in L.A. in some films or whatever, and she told Scorsese I was Sarah's cousin, and Scorsese goes, oh, I see the family resemblance, and it was kind of cool to hear that from Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, that's incredible, man.
Hey, listen, it's raining. It's beautiful.
Oh, I know. I
love
just
it.
It's going to cool.
It's going to get that humidity out of the air. That's going to be great.
The rain is coming down.
The rain in Spain, mainly on the plane.
Yeah.
That's all. Well, all right. So going forward now, what are your plans for the upcoming once everything really goes back to normal? What are you going to do with with your people, your band, and whatever else?
Well, Weird Die Young has been on hiatus ever since Frankie's passing.
Oh,
we
okay.
have,
I guess that was recent, huh?
It was like 2 years ago,
Oh,
but we
okay.
had this album that we were in the middle of recording, and like, you know, it's pretty much, that's a project that involves like 3 different people.
Okay.
So Weird Die Young has hopefully not the final album, but another album coming out called Garbage Art, which should be out, you know, hopefully by January 2021.
Okay.
Code Green, which is the trailer you guys seen tonight.
Yeah.
That season is done, and we're shopping a pilot right now. We've had a couple responses trying to get it produced into like an actual television show.
Wow.
So Code Green is kind of in the works as far as a pilot, and then me and Sarah are working on another script right now about a legendary adult film actress who was abused as a child, and then basically overcame everything and got mainstream success.
Oh.
And then I'm working on another screenplay that's about a schizophrenic shoemaker from Philadelphia in the 70s who turned into a serial killer.
Wow.
And then I just completed this other screenplay. It's a horror comedy about a guy who goes on to a podcast and then shows these horror films and has like his own ulterior motives for the hosts. I entered
Rod
that
Sterling
into
has
it.
nothing on you, my friend.
Huh?
Rod Sterling has nothing on you. But that's good. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Why is Sarah out there in California? I mean, what is she doing?
Sarah is an awesome and like
She does
fairly
stand-up comedy out
yeah,
there. Is that it?
She
Okay.
went out there, but ironically, like she went out there and then coronavirus happened like almost right after she got out there.
Right, and
but
now
she's working on. She's not to cut you off. She's working on another series.
Okay.
The name escapes me right now, so you can just look up Sarah Martin Comedy. And look out for her new show that's coming out. It's some web series. But yeah, she's been doing comedy for like I think 12 years.
How old
at this
is she?
point now.
She about your age?
Yeah, she's around my age. Yeah.
Okay, guess what? We're in
Early
the final
30s.
5 minutes of the show.
Okay.
So what I want you to do while we wrap it up is give shouts out to people that are going to see it. You can start with your girlfriend sitting right there, Vicky, and obviously she's came with you for
Shout
more
out,
support.
Vicky.
Vicky, thanks for coming. And then very quickly, just condense them, and then we'll wrap the show up. Just like
Yeah,
we started
sure.
it.
Shout out to everybody that I know, honestly. Everyone that supports Code Green, Tammy. She's also in the show as Patty. You know, anybody who's a Weird Die Young fan, a supporter. Anybody
know.
from the Grow that's watching this that likes me. Anybody that's watching this and doesn't like me but is watching it for some reason. How you doing? I like you. I like you even if you don't like me. And you can find everything Code Green at Pro Psych Patient. Do the @ Pro Psych Patient, and that's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And on YouTube, you can find us at Code Green, YouTube/Code Green. And for Weird Die Young, you can find us. YouTube is YouTube/WeAreUSR. So that's YouTube/WeAreUSR, and then you can find Weird Die Young's music on Bandcamp, and you can find us on Spotify, you can find us on Facebook, SoundCloud, just search Weird Die Young, and you can find all the music there.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you had fun with me tonight.
Oh, it was a blast, yeah.
Okay, and if any of your other friends that I haven't had on the show, I get a lot of guests through word of mouth, so just let them know if they want to do the show. I'd love to have them come up here.
Okay.
Whether they're on the East Coast or the West Coast, it matters not.
Yeah, definitely.
I got people come from all over the country to do the show.
You should do some Zoom.
No,
shows.
I'm not into Zoom. I can't really do it here.
I don't like Zoom either, man.
No,
to be
I know, but
completely
I don't know if
honest,
I wouldn't
yeah.
ask them to do that. They have other things going on here. But anyway, you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm ready
Okay,
to.
folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. There's the camera we're using, and see you next time. Here we go.